Middle of the stage, got the whole hood knocking.
Take me off.
There we go. That thing right there has been leaking, and so has this. I know y'all don't like it, but I'm selling crack rock. Welcome back, people, to the vlog of the vlog. I need a haircut. Holy crap, my hair got long since the last time I had a G7X. Either way, my camera has been found. Mello found it inside of his recording studio because apparently I put it inside of there. So like, I'm happy I got my camera back. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. By the way, welcome to POEKILL. Buy merch. If you haven't been entered to win Le Mans, www.itsjustasix.com/shop. Every $20 spent gets you one entry for Le Mans, which is a whole C6 Corvette, which is like dope. So why would you not do that $20 for a whole car? So like, I would do it. Either way, let's get to the video. And I'm hungry, so I figured might as well go with Daniel. And he got his 350Z running, so he finally gets to take that on a test drive because he just changed out a few things and it runs good. So we're gonna take a test drive with Daniel, get some Wendy's, and then we're gonna work on that car.
Make it there?
Yes, we can make it there.
It's gonna be so nice to actually drive the car.
Dude, it's gonna be actually drivable, like not just like putted around. It's gonna actually downshift, actually drive.
Drive this thing.
My dog Zorby out here. I'm strapped in his harness right now for the passenger side, and there's just nothing in front of me. It's hard to sit in a car and be able to put your legs completely straight out like as you're going down the road. It's weird. So
I've never even noticed that.
Oh, this thing's so dope.
It actually starts properly now.
Yeah, it does. Oh, and that's cool. You can see really clear what you're doing. This would be a great car to teach someone how to race in. Yeah, you didn't get it up too high, but it pulled pretty good.
That was maybe like 4 grand.
It sounded so good.
Having no sound ending's a lot different.
Dude, I love it.
I got butterflies during that.
I know you do. I'm really happy for you, dog. I locked myself out of my garage. My garage door opener is inside of my backpack, which is inside of my garage. I'm locked out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Apparently, I did have a lock picking kit. This is Rob's car. Rob's taking a ride in Daniel's car because he really wanted to take a ride in his car. We were just hanging out at the office, so I took Rob's car back here. I'm gonna see if I can't get this lock unpicked. All right, there's my backpack, and there's my garage door clicker. Right here. Adios, Rob. Thank you for letting me borrow your car. Good deal. Adios, Robertos. I brought some stuff from 6 Media that I had. Boost piping, exhaust piping, cold side, hot side piping, basically. Some more flanges, V-bands, all that fun stuff. And I got a table. So I'm gonna move my bike back outside since I'm back in the garage. Since I rode with him, that's how I locked my keys in there the first place. I rode with Daniel, and I left my backpack in here. Let's actually start doing stuff. Let's go ahead and get started with some motor work on this thing. Pretty much picking up where we left off when it came to the motor from last video. So let's go ahead and get started pulling off. I'm gonna take off this motor mount here, this motor mount here, basically get this thing all stripped down and ready to get degreased. So let's go ahead, get off these motor mounts. One, two. That wasn't stripped when they put that in. Neither was that one. Wow, there's a spot with no oil on it. Head gaskets were definitely leaking. All right, this side motor mount. So let's go ahead, flip this thing over yet another time. Here we go. So on top of everything being the way it is, I ended up getting a steering wheel and a brake. I also need to replace one of my brakes. But I have this NRG short hub and a steering wheel. If you can see this guy right here. And there's this NRG short hub right here. Boom, that's what I need right there, baby. Just install that and I think we'll be good. So let me go ahead and remove the steering wheel that we've got in here right now, which should be this bolt right here. I already broke it loose. Oh, there we go. Just need to hit the wheel just a little bit, a few times on every corner with a little dead blow. Wheel comes right off. Super simple, super easy. Put that old booty ass steering wheel over here. And then this clock spring should be held in by a few bolts probably. Actually, for the clock spring, I can just pull this hoe apart. Never done this before. That's how a clock spring works. That's dope. Oh my gosh. I've never done this before, but this looks like so fun. This is how a clock spring works. It makes perfect sense because it only touches itself. I don't think this is the right one, but we're gonna make it work either way. It's working, just gotta push it on there a little bit more and it'll be all the way. Now let's grab this bolt, oh boy. And we will bolt it on. All right, now it's on tight. And now we get to do the fun part, which is get the wheel and install it. I'm actually really happy I get to finally be installing a freaking steering wheel on my car. There we go, boom, installed his wheel, baby. And then in here, I'm not gonna need any of those. Oh, damn, oh, what position are the tires in? They're in a little bit of a left. So that's the top. Okay, so now we're gonna go continue where we left off, you know what I'm saying? Like, this point in time is when I found my G7X because I finally got the crank pulley off. If y'all have not seen, I've been waiting on this thing. I've been waiting on the puller for this thing. I have not been able to receive it, and I finally just got it. So I can pull off this timing cover now, and finally all this oil pump stuff and timing chain and all that stuff, inspect all this stuff and get it pulled off. So let me go ahead and pull this cover off real quick. I have the G7X and it's gonna make the videos flow a lot better if I were to do all the engine work on G7X instead of the GoPro, because GoPro footage is like But at the same time, y'all gotta let me know. So let me know if y'all prefer this style or the GoPro style, and we'll go switch from either way because I'm trying to make it better. So comment down below and let me know what y'all want. View-wise, do you like the G7X footage or do you like the GoPro footage? Last video would be GoPro footage and this video would be more G7X footage. Or like, the first half of this video is GoPro, and then the second half is like more G7X. I'm gonna have a good mixture between the two, but I wanna see which one y'all like the best. So let me go ahead, get started pulling off this timing cover. All right, so I went ahead and took the timing cover off, and I also sprayed a little bit of degreaser on it, and it's leaking down there onto one of the pads I got. But I'm gonna wipe it down a little bit, see if I can't get some of this stuff off. When I get it back together, I'll go ahead and get it painted and all that fun stuff. Just the internals on it, just a basic short block, the cams inside of it. I'm gonna go ahead and change out this this timing chain right here, and then once we do that, we can go ahead, throw the whole thing back together, wipe it off, and get it clean. If you can see right here, this is the oil pressure sending unit, and this sends oil pressure, basically letting you know if you have oil pressure to the head unit. So basically your oil light goes on if you have low oil pressure. There we go, that thing right there has been leaking, and so has this. If you can tell, there is no thread tape on this. And if you can see, it looks like this is the source of a lot of oil that's just falling on the engine, which I probably knew it was coming from there because a lot of oil leaks come from this right here. The factory Teflon tape just comes off, or I don't even know if they use factory Teflon tape. Either way, these are known to leak, so I'm gonna go ahead, clean all this up, put new Teflon tape on this. This is also gonna be the oil feed line. I'm gonna tee into this and make this the oil feed line. So I went ahead and pulled the studs out, and also while I'm down here, I'm gonna go ahead and change out this gasket for the oil pickup tube as well. All right, we're out here next day. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some degreaser on the oil pan because this thing is a mess right now. Get a good amount of degreaser on this whole thing, and I'm gonna let it soak. I'm gonna hit it 2 or 3 times, and then I can get all this junk and gunk off of this thing. All right, guys, so the day has come. I know y'all don't like it, but I'm selling crack rock. Let me explain here in a bit, but the guy's about to get here, and I'm gonna sell crack rock. All right, what's your name, and what are you doing?
Jared, and I'm buying this sweet dirt bike.
This man is buying crack rock. So guys, crack rock content will be gone, but PO bike content will still be here. However, you have an Instagram or something that they can follow you on?
Yes, it's jared.pile_.
So we're gonna go ahead and load this bike up and I'll explain to y'all everything after this. I know I haven't explained this much, but crack rock's gone. And actually he's leaving. There it goes. No more crack rock. I don't know what to think yet. Interesting. All right, guys, so let me explain to you basically an update. Let's take it back a few different degrees here. Engine gasket kit. Pretty much every gasket for all of the engine is in there. Motor mounts, obviously, head bolts, camshaft position sensor, crankshaft position sensor, main bolt, oil pump, which I will be replacing that, and then obviously heads, and then move down here to the motor, and if you can see, basically Motor is taken apart completely. I'm gonna put a trash bag over this here in a few, but I just moved it right here. I'm gonna have to take off this top right here. I do want to take the lifters out and clean all the junk out of here, because there's a good amount of like just junk and gunk that has gotten into this thing with me taking everything apart. Like small stuff like this, just random junk that never would affect us otherwise, but in a motor you just don't want that stuff in there. So definitely gonna go ahead and pull that, and I wanna get all the junk out of this motor before we put it back together. So with that, valve covers, I will be degreasing, oil pan degreasing. I also need to drill the hole for the oil pan as well. The drain hole, the turbo oil drain hole, that's what I was thinking of. I couldn't think of that for some reason. But yeah, the turbo oil drain hole is going to be drilled in that oil pan. And then timing cover, basically all that stuff just needs to be degreased. Flywheel, pressure plate, and clutch right here are all trash because I'm not reusing those. Go down here, just more intake parts, small parts down here. All these wheels, I am painting black. I am painting these XXRs black. These center caps just pop out, and then I'll paint the wheel black, clean up all the curb rash, but that'll be for a different video. That won't be now. As far as the rest of the shop goes, hood still looks great. There's still not one scratch on this whole entire car. Believe it or not, I've actually been really careful with it. Crack rock, yes, indeed is gone. Let me explain that real quick. So crack rock was, I was selling it before I got it stolen. So like, I didn't want it anyways, because I didn't ride it much. I was always doing other interesting stuff or putting money into my truck, at the time being the Tacoma. And then flipped over the Tacoma, then got crack rock back, and I was like, oh, crack rock, so happy, and rebuilt it, and it was obviously great for YouTube, but man, I just wasn't riding it, and it wasn't getting the love it needs, so I went ahead and passed it on to someone else that will give it the love it needs. So I'm pretty excited about that. However, as far as this bike goes, keeping that Supermoto still gonna be its thing. This right here, if you look at this, you're probably like, why did this guy take his V6 Mustang and chop? That looks terrible. If you don't know what you're looking at, it looks like a mess. However, if you do know what you're looking at, it's actually pretty clean back here. So brake lines right here, obviously, we're gonna move that. I'm gonna move these around some other way, so I will be doing rerouting the brake lines. So that's one thing I'm definitely gonna do. This right here is a throttle cable, which will be up here now, since the motor's gonna be, the intake's gonna be up front, the throttle body's gonna be up front, instead of back here how it was, which we'll just move that, and I'll make a new bracket for the new manifold as soon as it comes in. Clutch line, I believe a fan is sending in a adjustable clutch, so whoever is doing that, thank you very much, and whenever it comes in, I'll give you proper shout outs and all that fancy stuff. But yeah, thank you for helping out. He just said he had an extra part for it in the car. I think he sold or it got wrecked or something like that, and he didn't need it anymore, so he's just sending it over. Looking into a tubular K-member. Also need to find a transmission for this guy right here. This right here, if no one understands why I cut the front end off of the car, I will cut right here along this shock tower, strut tower, or whatever the heck, and weld a plate directly from here, and it's gonna come all the way out, it's gonna loop around, and it's gonna come all the way and weld to this strut tower. There's also gonna be something that welds directly on here, a plate that welds on all four sides of this guy right here, comes out, does the same exact thing for a lower loop. They'll connect right here going up. I'll just pull up a picture so y'all can see what my car looks like right now, and then I'll just pull up a picture of what it's gonna look like. Also, throwout bearing. It's warm, but boy, it spins. Transmission obviously just sitting right there. Have to figure out something with it. Everything's gonna be cleaned up and moved out of the way. Also, another random fact. I'm going to paint this whole thing black because I'm tired of it not looking good, and I'm also tired of seeing y'all's comments like, paint the engine bay, because like, I've been planning on doing it the whole time. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I need to clean up all this stuff, clean it off. I actually do want to get some steel, some mild steel to weld to those, so it's not, because that's stainless and then this is mild. And stainless and mild don't weld together, especially if you're using a MIG machine, which is why that one looks like booty crust. But at the same time, go ahead and just finish it off with mild steel. Shouldn't be a problem at all, just gotta do it. I'm still super happy with that steering wheel. I'm waiting on the quick disconnect mount, because there is a quick disconnect mount that I have. But until then, it's just this wheel right here. I can't put the horn in until I put the disconnect in, because that bolt right there is too close. But once I get it in, it'll be pretty cool. Then there's just some more junk in the car that I gotta clean up and put the motor back together. Realistically, we really don't have that much more work to do. I know the motor's outside of the car and all that stuff, but I need to clean some parts. And then also the kit that I have comes with valve gaskets to lap the valves. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet because I don't have the tool to lap them. However, it's probably a smart idea to do so. This is a 230,000 mile motor, but the motor, I can't really do anything on it until more parts come in that I can put that on. So until then, I will be getting this trash bag and covering it, and I'm gonna put the trash bag on a motor. What I'm gonna do now is probably spray a little bit of degreaser on this guy right here and move a few of these things out of the way, just clean up this whole thing. So I'm gonna take the brake system off, and then throttle, clutch, all that fancy stuff. Get this thing kind of taken off and apart, and then start painting on it. All right, so did a lot of work. There's the brake lines right there. Those guys no longer loop around and are in the way, so I can get in here without having any problem. Of course I didn't cut the front end to pull out the motor, but like at the same time I needed to cut the front end, so like might as well just pull it out to pull the motor. I could have pulled it without. I mean, you can pull a motor and trans without pulling the front end off of a car. It's super easy to do. However, it's just way easier if you're gonna cut off the front end anyways. Just do it before you pull the motor. So one thing I do need to do before I get the car back going is that brake. I need to change that, which that wouldn't be too hard to do. I just have to do it. Right now I'm not even worried about it. It's not one of the main things on my mind. Everything in here, obviously I took the minus the booster part. I took the brake master cylinder off, all the distribution block, all the brake lines up front. Now there's just a wrench here, a wrench there. I'm not gonna paint it yet because the tubes, when they come on, I'm gonna have to grind all this down and make it bare metal, and then the tubes aren't gonna be painted themselves. So, well, I mean, no reason painting it several times when I could just do it all one time when I'm done. So, right now, it's pretty much ready to go. This is the only gas line. This right here is the only gas line. Everything else is evap and all that stuff, so I will be deleting that. Y'all look forward for next video. Next video, I'm going to the event, so hopefully I'll be at the event having fun doing all that. But the video after that, we're going to have more car stuff getting done. This thing's gonna have a lot of work in a lot of small amounts of time. I'm really hoping some stuff can get in. I'm waiting on an aluminum welder or an AC/DC welder. So that's one of the things I'm going to have to do. But I'm working it out right now. So until then, y'all, thank you very much for watching. Videos on the car will be back up and going. Car will be up and going. I'm actually not worried about it getting back together, and some of y'all are, because my garage was a mess before. But like I said, I cleaned it up now. I mean, not everyone has a garage they can work on their stuff at. In fact, some people have freaking front yards. Like I said, you can do anything, anywhere. Just gotta have the motivation to do it and do it. So without further ado, I'll let y'all look at my turbos. Okay, so one of my buddies from back home came over. He's got a Chevy Sonic with 15s and like thousands and thousands of watts. I want y'all to see this. Of course, this man said, let's play some Trace and Mellow. How much power is it on, Hunter?
It's on like 6,000 right now.
Bye, Gavin. You're about to ascend to a different world. Let's just go like.
Ask me how I'm doing fine. I'm making my money before I die.
There's 4 of those hoes back there.
Stick your head in there. Swear that I am. Say I'm such a critic. I know
It's gonna be the second. It's gonna go and then drop again.
Yeah, I'm the motherfucker.
This is so dope. It doesn't sound loud from the outside, but like inside you can't breathe. It takes the air out of your...
Did you steal this?
No, Levi gave it to me.
Oh yeah, he bought new.
Yeah, he bought new ones for $5. Approval?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, he's like, Mom, help us.
Watch the second.
Daniel said, I want to hear this.
Text me off.
I'm so happy I got that on camera.
Middle looks, they got the whole hood knocked.
Yeah, I'm the motherfucking greatest. Yeah, I'm the greatest, bitch. See my competition, these don't fit that niche. You could try to take a shot at me, I will not flinch. I try to jack at my sound and then I flip that script like